Hey there, this should be, hopefully, a very quick review on E equals mc squared, the mass and energy equivalency is what they call it. If you're wondering why I'm wearing this, look at the carbon video, the carbon dating one. I explain it there. Basically, E equals mc squared. Energy equals mass times the speed of light squared. Your answer is going to be in joules. According to Wikipedia, among other things, a joule is the amount of heat that you give off, like when you're sitting around, your body gives off this much heat every 17 seconds. I don't know what you're supposed to do with that information, but there it is. That's a joule. Alright, so if this is always the same, it's constant, because the constant in a vacuum, all you really have to do is go ahead and square that. So energy is the mass times 9 times 10 to the 16th. All you have to do is put a new number into here. So if I say you're working with 17 kilograms, if you totally annihilate 17 kilograms of matter, all you do is plunk it in there. And so on your calculator, you can see what that equals. If you're not spectacular with the exponents, just take 17 times 9. You get 153. If you took that times 10 to the 16th, technically you'd be correct. If on a multiple choice you do that and that's not up there, what would be up there would be 1.53 times 10 to the 18th. All we did was move the decimal over 2 spots, so we add 2 to the exponent. So if this is multiple choice, you should recognize, oh, 153, but make sure your exponents are working out, because there could be decoy 153s, just to see if you know what you're doing. So, another example. Let's say you have half a kilogram. Figure out what that would be. So, half times 9 is 4.5 times 10 to the 16th. Yay, that's how many joules of energy. That's a whole lot. That would be a million billion? Almost a billion. It's a whole lot of you sitting at rest for 17 seconds at a time. Now, you normally aren't going to totally, completely annihilate half a kilogram or anywhere near that. Really, what you actually annihilate is a tiny piece of a proton or a neutron. So in actuality, the type of mass that you would put in there would be something like 5 times 10 to the negative 29th kilograms. Because you're working with tiny, 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 tiny particles. So, to calculate that, it's kind of the same thing. 5 times 9 times 10 to the 16th. So 5 times 9 would be 45. 10 to the 29th times 10 to the 16th. What you do when you're multiplying exponents is you add those up. So what's negative 29 plus 16? It's negative 13. Scientific notation, 4.5 times 10 to the negative 12. Because we moved it the opposite way of what the exponent is doing. Really though, whatever the mass is, just plunk it into this equation. That's the handiness of this wonderful equation. But in reality, you're not doing whole kilograms or anywhere near it. That is a tiny portion of a tiny portion of a proton, is really what that is, which is a much smaller amount of energy. But if you have a whole lot of something nuclear making that much, it will really add up to a whole lot of energy, as evidenced by the fact we get 20% of our electricity from. That's E equals mc squared. That's it. Practice those. Make sure you know how to work your calculator and get the right answers, though. The end.